Let's learn about person-centered care. Healthcare was known for a long time as holding the tradition of medicalizing illness. This meant health professionals determined the healthcare goals of a patient based on their traditions and experience, focusing solely on coming to a diagnosis and curing the disease. However, now healthcare has begun to take on a more person-centered care approach. So what is this person-centered care approach? Person-centered care is a way of providing care which is unique to each person through emphasizing a person's preferences instead of the disease or health issue. This means putting people and their families at the center of decisions and seeing them as experts to then allow health professionals to work alongside to reach the best possible outcome. Nurses in particular have had a strong association to embodying person-centered care, as nurses have a great responsibility for our patients and their loved ones. Nurses and other healthcare professionals apply person-centered care through the key principles of valuing and treating people as individuals, respecting their rights and perspectives, building mutual trust and understanding, acknowledging an individual's life experiences, and developing therapeutic relationships. To articulate and conceptualize the person-centered care approach for nurses and other healthcare professionals, a framework developed by Brendan McCormick and Tanya McCann's 2006 is comprised of 4 key elements required to properly implement person-centeredness, which are prerequisites, which are the necessary contributors of nurses and healthcare professionals, the care environment, person-centered processes, and the expected outcomes which are the result from this framework. Now let's focus on one of the major contributors to this person-centered care approach within the practice of nursing, the care environment. So what does the care environment mean? The care environment pertains to the context in which care is delivered and is very multi-faced. It consists of the involvement of people, processes, and structures which all have an impact towards a person-centered practice approach. To break the care environment down further, the major factors which contribute to a person-centered care environment based on Brendan McCormack and Tanya McCann's framework are appropriate skill mix, shared decision-making, effective staff relationships, supportive organizational systems, power sharing, the potential for innovation and risk-taking, and finally, the physical environment itself. Skill mix refers to the combination of different categories of workers employed for the provision of care to patients. For nurses, this relates to the ratio of registered nurses to the non-registered nurses in a unit nursing team. This combination mixes the knowledge and skills of every individual healthcare provider involved within the staffing model and is dependent on the issues and demands of a patient's illness, specialization, staff availability, and available financial resources. Determining the most effective mix is important in ensuring a quality, safe, and cost-effective patient care. In working effectively in these multi-professional teams, it takes into account the importance and value of each person's skills and experience, which helps to demonstrate person-centered ways. Shared decision-making is collaborating, including, and participating in ways of engaging within and between teams, and also includes, informs, and engages patients in shared decision-making processes. Implementing this factor in person-centered care is important in improving quality and safety in healthcare. To demonstrate this in a person-centered way, nurses and healthcare professionals should respond to patients' ideas, concerns, and expectations, help the patient to assess and reflect upon different decisions and the impact on their values and lifestyles, negotiate and resolve conflicts, and finally agree upon an action. Staff relationships are interpersonal connections which are productive in achieving holistic person-centered care. It is also able to provide the context for many important functions and activities in healthcare which help to link patients, clinicians, teams, organizations, and communities together. Within effective relationships, staff are able to effectively exchange information, allocate resources, arrive at diagnosis, choose treatments, and assess outcomes. In person-centered care environments, organizational systems promote initiative, creativity, and freedom of patients and healthcare professionals. These organizational systems are supported by government frameworks which support culture, values, relationships, communication, autonomy, and accountability in the care environment. Person-centered organizational systems are highly necessary for the empowerment of staff through recognition, support, and involvement in decision-making, which creates supportive environments for professional development and practice. Power sharing is non-hierarchical relationships which don't exploit individuals but instead focuses on mutual outcomes achieved through agreed values and goals. In a study performed by Nuggets et al. 2010, it was found that a more equal distribution of power created a more positive, productive, and cooperative care environment. This also creates a care environment focused on equality and autonomy of beliefs and values. This can be embodied through information sharing with patients to help equalize power by transferring some of their leadership and decision-making to them. In the care environment, the potential for innovation and risk-taking exercises decision-making reflected on a balance of evidence, professional judgment, local information, and patient preferences. Developing innovative models which improve on the care environment and care delivery leads to improvement to the work environment and improve the quality and safety of patient care. The physical environment, focused on person-centeredness, embodies a care environment whose design, privacy, sanctuary, safety, and access intends to improve performance, outcomes, and cost. In doing this, it provides a more caring, effective, safe, and person-centered care environment. To create this kind of environment, it has been found by Ulrich et al. 2004 that implementing single bedrooms has shown to improve patient confidentiality and privacy, and increase patients' overall satisfaction. Quieter rooms through installing sound-absorbing ceilings was shown to reduce stress and improve sleep, thus creating better health outcomes. Allowing peace of nature and natural lighting aids in reducing stress and creates positive distractions. Designing ward layouts which reduce staff walking, increase patient care time, and support staff activities also improve the care environment. Nurses in particular are called to embody this person-centered element due to its importance in patient care. As quoted by UC Davis Health, in this context, nurses are empowered to truly be present with patients and families and to interact with colleagues to provide care consistent with both professional and ethical mandates. This is especially true as these components, which compromise the care environment, have a significant impact on the operation of person-centered practice. Unless the care environment is functionally conducive to person-centered ways of working, then the true potential of these teams cannot be fully realized, creating a more limited facilitation of person-centered processes as a whole. A effective person-centered care environment involves excellent leadership in the effectiveness of staff relationships, shared decision-making, equal power balance, appropriate skill mix, physical environment, innovation, and supportive organizational systems. In nursing, leadership can be described as a complex and multi-phase process which involves providing support, motivation, coordination, and resources to enable individuals and teams to achieve collective objectives. Poor leadership can cause some serious challenges and negative effects on both the nursing staff and patients, such as a very chaotic and unpleasant work environment, a decline in care quality and safety, and a decline in patient health and satisfaction. There are numerous leadership challenges for nurses, particularly in each component of the care environment. Different styles are used by different leaders in all types of leadership. Two of the styles most people are familiar with are 1. Formally appointed leaders, which are team leaders and project leaders, and 2. Champions, who are those who take it upon themselves to set an example and initiate change and make work more exciting. When there is an inappropriate skill mix, it can cause tension and an ineffective work environment, resulting in the leader becoming stressed and overburdened trying to delegate tasks to the appropriate people. With an inappropriate skill mix, it can result in jobs not being completed or in an inappropriate way, which would cause stress on the leader. A lack of resources in the physical environment can cause leadership challenges, as leaders may feel pressured and burdened if they are not able to provide their team and patients with the appropriate equipment. Another way that the physical environment can be a burden on leaders in nursing is a lack of physical space in which to work, such as the hospitals that keep computers on wards in order to keep up to date, on patient notes and information. These can get in the way sometimes, as they can be stored in front of other resources. Leaders can be challenged when trying to create a positive, safe, and effective work environment if there are staff arguing and lacking good communication skills. For example, if a department that is required to clean dirty equipment in order to be used again for another patient hasn't yet done so due to poor communication between staff members, it can and will slow down treatment times, delay the required treatment for that particular patient, and ultimately cost everyone involved more time. Unsupportive organizations can cause uninterested staff, possible confrontations or arguments between the staff members, difficulty coordinating tasks and duties, possibility of violation of hospital principles and/or policies, and ultimately leading to operational failures and poor treatment of patients. A lack of support in the organizational systems for nursing leaders can also alter the staff dynamic and the way in which errors and issues are dealt with. Nurses are encouraged to share decision-making with their co-workers, which may be challenging for leaders, as instead of giving orders and making decisions alone, they are required to consult others and make a mutual decision. Without the insight and support of a leader's fellow staff members, there is a risk that an incorrect or even a dangerous decision may be made, which would be unprofessional and dangerous for both the patient and the staff. It is an expectation that when an important decision must be made, it is openly discussed with any members of the team that may be caring for that particular patient, as well as with any staff member that may have knowledge or experience in the matter. Leaders can be faced with challenges of not being able to follow through with innovations due to a lack of resources and funding. The lower the funding and lack of resources, the more likely nursing leaders and other members of staff are forced into making risky decisions in the hopes of achieving an outcome that may have been made much easier if the funds and/or resources had been made ready available to them. A possible lack of training may also contribute to inappropriate or unnecessary risk-taking. In mentioning the importance of innovation in making up a person-centered care environment, innovation is a fundamental source of progress for healthcare systems around the world. Nurses in particular have innovative processes of developing new approaches, technologies, and ways of working that will bring better health promotion, disease prevention, and better patient care. After the devastating events that occurred in the New South Wales healthcare system between 2005 and 2008, an investigation was issued due to an unsafe care environment. This resulted in the discovery of long-term mismanagement of the state's healthcare system in a workplace plagued by power imbalance, poor decision-making systems, and ineffective staff relationships. Because of this, nationwide initiatives have been implemented to standardize and structure patient handovers, as nurses identified that problems typically arise at handovers as information isn't effectively and clearly communicated. The SBAR model was applied in the clinical setting to improve the clarity and effectiveness of communication by successfully stating the situation, background, assessment, and recommendations about a patient. It ensures the best possible care as all team members are on the same page and supported in the care environment. Wellwell is a small town in rural Victoria and has innovatively changed primary healthcare with a model that relies largely on nurse-led services. The opening of the Wellwell Bush Nursing Centre saw there was a greater need for doctors to spend more time with patients who have complex healthcare needs. This centre, primarily run by advanced practice nurses, triage all casual inquiries, take tests, and take a comprehensive health history, and also carry out treatment plans so pressure is taken off the GP. This model has shown to work extremely well in this setting and provides a care environment where the voice of the nurse, patient, and doctor is heard, thus creating an environment with an even power balance, more effective staff relationships, and shared decision-making systems to ensure a safe and effective care environment.